doing okay. How are you?
Fuck. I'm doing terrible, my man.
Oh no.
I'm just joking. I'm doing all right. I feel pretty good this week. I had some stress last week and the week before, but this week I feel so far. I mean, it's just the beginning of the week, but I'm feeling better overall. What about you?
That's good. I don't know. The weekend, things are weird. Like, even if you can get your to-do list done and a couple extra things, I don't know, like, depression is a funny thing. It messes with you a whole lot. Like, even if you get all that stuff done, you get your whole list, you get a couple extra things, everyone is happy and healthy, you still feel like, you didn't do enough, and, my foot hurts, and then I lay down for an hour and a half, and then, I feel like I didn't do diddly squat.
Yeah, your foot's been hurting for a little bit. You've had to stop taking walks with me because of it. But the heating pad thing that I got you works, right?
It does help for a little while, but not. So last night I kicked my covers weird, and then my foot hurt the rest of the night, and now I feel.
You kicked your covers weird, and now it hurts for the rest of the night?
Yeah, it hurt it hurt for the whole time, so I could barely get any sleep
for the rest of the night.
Yeah, and then this morning I woke up way early, got all my stuff done. I made pumpkin pie. Like, I was productive, but I just didn't feel it, Yeah,
I was super productive today, but I did feel the productivity. I don't know. The thing for me about the weekend is I don't want to do anything that feels like work on the weekend.
Yeah.
Because I already work enough.
Right.
I work plenty. Mm-hmm. Right. And if you give a speech at work and you say, and here's some homework, even if that homework is just like, hey, think about what I've talked about and see how maybe it applies to, I'm like, fuck you. I'm not doing homework for my work, right?
Yeah.
Like,
you didn't even do homework for school.
No, I did not. But yeah, look, you have me there for 8 hours. Right. I'm a captive audience. If you can't have me do all the things you want me to do in 8 hours, that's on you.
Yeah.
After 8 hours, I'm out. Mm-hmm. I'm gone.
Yeah.
You do not pay me to think about you on my time.
Yeah.
And the weekend goes by really fast. Somebody tweeted today that being an adult, I'm paraphrasing, being an adult is never having any time until the weekend, but then only getting 4 of those a month.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Why is it this way?
I don't know.
I like my job.
Yeah.
I have liked my job for the last 21 years. Mm-hmm. And I especially like my current job. Mm-hmm. But I still don't want to do that work
24/7
all the time. Yeah. Right. I need to have time when I can just lay here in this chair and watch reruns of Shark Tank and fall asleep because it's boring.
Yeah.
Right. Or TLC or whatever other hotel thing I'd watch. Or, hey, I've got enough time I can just play a board game right now.
Yeah.
And I don't have to feel guilty. Mm-hmm. And it's taken me a long time to get to that point in my life where I realized, hey, I need that time for myself.
Yeah.
Right? Away from work. Mm-hmm. I can't be always working.
Yeah. That's how I feel too. But they live here with me. So I can't get away from it.
I know you have a way harder job than I do. And yours doesn't end. You don't get a chance.
It's like an on-call type of job. So whenever they need.
Yeah, I mean, you do
not
get
so much
breaks.
with the older dudes.
You do get breaks here and there, but they're not, you can't go every day at 6, I get to do what I want to do. Yeah. It has to be like, oh, shit, they're doing something, they're distracted, and now I can go and watch my show that I want to watch or lay down for a little bit.
Yeah. But then I feel scummy. I feel yucky doing that.
Oh, you feel like you're like ditching out on it. See, that's bad. Don't feel that way.
I know.
You need this time just like I need the time off from work. Mm-hmm. You just because
no one should be having their job 24/7.
Right. The kids wanting your attention all of the time means that you just have to find those pieces where you can.
Yeah. Which is like 4 minutes here and there.
Not feel guilty about it when you do.
Yeah. I timed it one time. It was like 4 minutes.
Okay, but have you timed it like a bunch of times? Because I know that there's been times where it's been
I picked an
like,
hour and I paused my show 15 times in that hour.
Yeah.
And it was like 4 minutes in between necessities of I need a snack. I need to go poop. I need this. I need that.
Really, really hard. I know
she won't let anyone help her.
Yeah, I try really hard to help all of the time, even to the point of, and I feel awful about this because it's like manipulative in a way, but like even pretending like you made the snack and I'm just handing it to her just so that I could take a little weight off your shoulders and she just didn't see me make it. It doesn't make lot of sense to me why she's so immovable on you doing all of those things for her.
I don't know. And I know I'm not the only one because there are, a lot of people on Instagram that have that same
I've been seeing a lot of that too.
I think it's a comfort thing. I think once they're not babies anymore and you can't physically comfort them all the time by holding them a lot, right? It's everything else becomes a comfort thing.
Yeah. But that's the thing though, is like that makes total sense to me if the dad is out of the house all of the time and only shows up at dinner time or whatever. But I'm here all day long and I pop in all throughout the day.
I think it can just be whatever. It's really that terrible.
It hurts my feelings a little bit.
I know, but it's not you.
Because I'm a very present father.
Exactly.
I pride myself on being, like when they say, hey,
I'm sure
look
other
at this.
people are too.
Look at this drawing I did. Oh, yeah, that looks great.
Yeah.
Right? Sometimes. But sometimes I mess with Bryce a little bit and pretend like I'm ignoring him. I'm not really. I hear everything he says. Because he goes, oh. But then
we all tease each other in that way, though.
We tease each other a little bit. But he's 19.
Yeah.
It's not like he's like 4 anymore.
They'll have to say something twice, and then the rest of us in the room will talk about it around them.
That's kind of mean.
It is mean, but who else are we going to tease?
We all do it to each other.
Yeah, it's really cool dynamic that we have 4 adults in the house.
Yeah.
And that, 2 of them are still young, but it's still really fun to see them as adults.
Most days.
Well, a lot of days. I would
that's what I'm saying, most days, but there are certain days where there are cut off t-shirts and like real like
intimidation in the kitchen.
Intimidation vibes going on by the bagel machine, and I'm just like, well, I'll go around.
It's a no sleeves day.
I don't want to go. Yeah, I don't want to go through here. I don't want to walk past that guy.
I would much prefer some of them as adults, I think, than as snack needing kids.
You know what I think it is that like, we were children when we had children, and now they are. Yeah.
I've been doing this a long time.
Around the ages that we were when we had them. But they're cool. They're cool people, and I like talking to them and hanging out with them. And they have their own separate interests and needs and desires, and
they're kind and funny, and
they're good people, and I want to be around them. Yeah.
Oh, we have a new rule in the house, and so we were playing jazz on the Apple TV downstairs, and that's when
instrumental jazz or vocalist
just
jazz?
Full on jazz, and that's the time.
Did it have singing?
Singing, yes.
Oh, okay.
That's the time that I decided to go lay down for a little bit. Bad idea, because my brain was like, jazz? What's happening? And then listen, and then hanging on every lyric. And I'm like, what is she going to start? Just start something. Because she's like, I'm starting. And I'm like, what are you starting exactly? And there was like... And then there was like an ebb and flow of all these, and I'm like, you know what? I really just don't like jazz. And so
are you sure it was jazz?
Yeah. And so a little while later, Bryce comes down and he goes, what were you playing earlier? And I'm like, jazz. And as I'm starting to like vomit about the atrocities of jazz, he goes, I really was grooving it. I was loving it. I was like, yeah. I really like jazz. I'm like, oh, me too, buddy. And I just kept on walking, because what are you going to say to that?
I do have some.
First of all, what 19-year-old likes jazz?
A lot
it's
of
amazing.
I love jazz. I think jazz is awesome.
It's really unique, but it just is. My brain doesn't like it.
Well, I think that happens sometimes. It can feel chaotic.
Yeah.
Some jazz.
It's like 4 songs in one.
Because they're just jamming.
I get that.
Right?
Yeah, and there are some individual songs that I'm like, oh, okay, I can see this, but it feels like to me like it's 4 songs crammed into one song, and so it's not like
well, it kind of is, right?
Relaxing or
it's almost like they're freestyling a little bit, which is probably why she says I'm starting like over and over again because she's trying to think about how she's going to start.
I guess.
But I have some instrumental jazz.
Yeah, that's probably
it's smooth jazz, and I got it when I worked at Crystal Magic in Sedona because they were playing it on the overhead, and I was like, oh, this is very like relaxing music. I like this music. One of the ladies that worked there was like, it's this, and she pulled a CD off that we sold CDs, but it was all like new age stuff.
Yeah,
and like
when CDs were a thing,
instrumental jazz and like chants and stuff. She pulled it off and she's all, it's this, and I was like, I'm gonna get it, and I've had it ever since, and it's really good for when you want to focus, and it's not chaotic like freestyle jazz. It's just jazz songs that have been written and performed. It's really good. You might like it. It's very relaxing. It's very relaxing. It's called smooth jazz.
It was just one of those. It was just one of those moments where I was like, I do too. Yep.
I have those moments a lot because of my ADHD. I cannot listen to music that has lyrics when I need to do anything that involves writing, code, or fiction, or documentation, or anything that requires me to have cohesive thought.
Yeah.
Because lyric music makes me want to sing along. So I have to listen to instrumental stuff. Classical helps really a lot, and then that smooth jazz helps a lot. But it has to be instrumental. It cannot be anything with lyrics.
Yeah.
And if it's a song I know, that's way worse.
Your code is like Harry style lyrics.
Yeah. Right. I can design with lyrics. I can do visual design with lyrics, but I can't.
Cooking or driving, right?
I can't code and I can't write
it's those automatic
lyrics.
Things.
Yeah. I'll be writing like fiction and listening to like lyric music, and then all of a sudden I've typed out what they're saying in the song.
That's what I'm saying.
And it's like, that's wrong. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant to say. Because my brain can't track the urge to participate in the song and also writing the thing I'm trying to write. Yeah. Which it kind of sucks because I can't like listen to, if I got to write, if I have a day at work where I have to write documentation or article or like right now I'm doing a presentation, I can't listen to a podcast. I can't listen to YouTube in the background. I can't listen to music in the background. I have to have nothing, just silence so I can focus on that. And it feels uncomfortable because I normally like to have some other noise distracting my brain.
Yeah. If I'm doing something where I feel like, this is another thing like I got to do, like cleaning or cooking or whatever, I'll listen to a podcast. And it's one of those ones where like his arms were cut off, his legs were cut off. He was found in the river. See? And I was, and what's really, it distracts the part of my brain that wants adventure and wants like to solve shit and put people away that have done bad stuff. And like, you know, it solves that part of my brain. So then I can do the automatic things like cleaning. But then there's like 4 other people or 5 other people in the house that can sneak up behind me and scare the ever-loving crap out of me while I'm cleaning. And it's like, okay, I have to text everybody. I'm like, I'm listening to a podcast where, you know, there's scary things happening. Please do not attack me.
I'm busy, y'all. So you talked about chores at the beginning. We did a really like a full-on cleansing of our bathroom.
Oh yeah, we did a team up. We had a bathroom team up day. We spent like 3 hours on it.
I glued a soap dish back to the wall.
and
puttied
puttied it.
I caulked it. I changed out the shower heads. I fixed the shower heads. We just did it. We just did a whole.
We did a reorganization of things.
And then I took a shower tonight since fixing the shower heads. And oh my God. That's the best water pressure we've ever had. Because
you took out
house.
the
I took out the restrictor.
Yeah.
Fuck it. We take very few showers, right? Because we're not going out a lot. And we're not like getting super sweaty and stuff. So it's not like we're taking daily showers or bi-daily showers or whatever. So I'm not worried about the 1 or 2 showers I take a week where I'm going to have better water pressure. If we do start to get into a bad situation with water around here, I'll put those restrictors back in. I'll stop showering altogether. But I'm not going to feel bad. It's the one good thing I've got right now. All right. I've never had good water pressure anywhere that we've ever lived.
Yeah, and we have a big, fancy, stupid bathroom where it's got two shower heads in there. It's like so the boys call it the car wash because you can just walk through it, and it's like
it's the dumbest shower ever, but it's also the coolest shower ever because I don't feel small in it. Every other shower that we've ever had,
it's like a box,
has been like a little fiberglass box with a glass slider door on it. And I've always felt like I was, I would always shoot water over the top of it because it's just hitting my head and shooting over.
It's probably hitting you in the chest, if anything.
And I've never had a nice shower ever. And when we bought this house, I guess the people who owned it before us, they were the ones who had it built. Yeah. And so they got to choose things. Yeah. And they put a lot of money into the fucking bathroom.
I guess.
So it does have this big, like, it's so excessive. But there was
so much room. The water was too hot and I backed up quickly enough that I took off the soap dish. And that's why you had to glue the soap dish back on.
I think that shower is as big as the bathroom we had.
The entire bathroom that we had in little apartments and stuff.
In Idaho?
Yeah. Yes.
It's stupid.
And we're tall, big people, so.
Yeah, that's another thing, right? It's like
we're just too tall.
I'm 6'7", and so, I need a tall shower head, and this one has it. Yeah. My head touches it.
But it's still
up there, right? Yeah. It's still up on the wall. And I only have to like scrunch down a little bit. Yeah. But it's just really nice to be able to take a shower and feel like I can turn around without knocking shampoo off of the little shelf in there.
Cracking your elbow.
This is so privileged.
But still.
We've come a long way to get to this point. Yeah. And
we've lived in 12 other places.
Yeah, we both
grew up. This is our 12th place.
We both grew up poor for all intents and purposes. And then you and I, once we got together, we've kind of just been slowly up and to the right with our housing situation.
Yeah, thankfully.
Yes, very thankfully. I'm not looking that in the mouth at all. We are not rich by any mean stretch of the imagination, but we are okay. Yeah. We're in a good place and we have a nice house. It took us 3 houses to get to this house of like owning and getting a little equity.
Kind of a thing.
So I don't feel guilty about having a nice house at this point in our lives, even though I know there are a lot of people that don't have houses. Yeah, and I could give everybody.
I want everyone to be okay.
I want everybody to be okay too.
We even like, and that's the thing. This weekend we did lots of things. And I was able to go do the groceries. And when I got home, we played 2 board games. And so I have no reason to feel funky, but I just didn't sleep good, and then I just feel really funky today. Yeah. It's really not good. But
I find what I told you this earlier.
We played unmatched. We got to talk about that.
We will talk about that in a second, so I don't lose this thought. And I told you this earlier today. I said, when I don't sleep well, I do feel off all day, like mentally and physically. Yeah. Like something's off, and it's just because didn't get enough rest.
Yeah, enough of a shutdown. Yeah. Like like I feel buzzy.
Yes.
I feel buzzy in my limbs.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Well, for sure on that.
It's terrible.
Yeah, so we played Unmatched. You played as Medusa and I played as King Arthur. You completely destroyed me.
I am undefeated in that game
You
now.
are undefeated, and I think you like that game because
I played it like
you're
three
like,
times.
hey, you could put all of Unmatched on the shelf down here if you want.
I did tell you that.
So because we did. I put it down
one,
there.
it comes in like very colorful black accented boxes, and so it's really cool art on there.
Yeah.
And then also our entire family likes it. There's something for everyone.
Yeah, I don't.
There's Deadpool and Medusa, like you know, that's really cool. I
played the game with every single person except for Fred because Fred can't.
She read her very first story last week too.
Well, maybe she'll be able to play this game soon.
Yeah, on Friday she read her very first story ever.
Yeah, it's hard to play a game with her that requires private reading. Like she has to read, like in order to actually compete, she has to read her own set of cards and also not just read them, but kind of parse the rules.
Know how to do it. Yeah, that takes time.
It's not as easy as being like, oh, this card says to do an attack. It's also, you got to go, you have to understand the context of that within the game. It's more complex than just reading.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody else is like that game.
I guarantee she'll like it too.
No, I'm sure she will.
There's lots of different characters to choose from.
No, there's a lot to that game. Here's the thing. I bought that game because it sounded cool and I wasn't expecting it to be that cool. I thought, okay, this sounds cool, but it's probably going to be just okay.
Yeah.
But it's actually starting to become one of my favorite games.
Sweet.
Can
you get it at Target? Is it at Target?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
It is on Amazon though.
Oh, okay.
It is on Amazon. It's not an exclusive to shops, but
okay, good.
Yeah, Unmatched.
Because it's very fun. The first time I played was Dracula.
You played as Dracula. Yes.
And then the second time I played as Deadpool, which was really fun. Bryce gave me advice on how to do it, and I just did it.
The first time you played was as Dracula, and I was the Invisible Man.
Yeah.
The second time we played, you were Deadpool.
What were you?
Robin Hood.
Oh, Robin Hood.
And I thought, oh, this is going to be easy because I have a bow and arrow. I can just shoot and run away, shoot and run away.
Yeah.
No, that's not how Deadpool works. And then in the third game is Medusa versus King Arthur. And then I also played against Liam, and he played as Beowulf, and I played as Bigfoot. I played against Bryce, where he played as Spike from
Angel.
the Buffyverse.
Oh, yeah, Buffy.
And I played as Little Red Riding. Or no, I played as 3 raptors from Jurassic Park. And then I played with Cameron, and I played as Little Red Riding Hood, and he played as Bruce Lee.
Oh, see, it's so cool, right?
Yeah, right.
It's so cool because they're very different.
We haven't done an episode about that game, haven't we?
No.
All right, we should sometime we should do
one
an
of
episode.
One of these.
We should do an episode about it because I think there's a lot of depth. It's one of those games that has a very simple rule set, a very simple set of pieces, components, but I do think it has a lot more depth than you think it does when you first play it a couple of times. Because I played it now 6 times. No,
gosh,
8 times. And every single time, not one time have I felt like I was completely out. Even against you the other day when you did, Medusa did 9 damage to King Arthur on the first turn.
Yeah.
I was able to get you back down to 3 life before you took me out. I made a mistake. If I'd have made a different play, then I probably would have been able to win the game.
Yeah. But I mean...
But the point is it's there's a little bit of luck there, but there's also a lot of strategic and tactical maneuvering that you can do to, if you understand okay, well, I've got this card, and if I move in right now, and then I could, this card will let me move back out. And then I could live one more turn and then I can get back in and win. Yeah. And I've done that playing against the boys, right? They're like, oh, you're gonna die this turn. And I was like, oh yeah, I am. And then boom, you're gone. Right? Yeah. I don't know. It's a fantastic game. I rave about it.
I show up for the flavor. And the tactical thing, I don't know that I'm very tactical necessarily.
No, you did really good with Medusa. You played her exactly. I think what helps you is if we say out loud before we start how would Medusa fight for real?
Yeah.
How would Deadpool fight?
So Bryce really likes Deadpool. And so when I played that game with you, I go, Bryce, how do I play Deadpool? Because I really want to play as that. And he goes, he never has a plan. He just wings it. He just is crazy and chaotic and whatever. And so whatever card, I just felt like, I'll just do this one. Yep. How do I make this one work? And then I did that. So I just played very chaotically and it ended up working really well for me.
Yep.
So.
And then with the Medusa, you want to...
She comes with 3 harpies, too.
Yeah, you want to force the other player to come to you.
And make mistakes.
Yeah. Which is what you did. You played it wonderfully. Yeah. And you used the harpies beautifully, too, as because...
Well, they flanked her at all times, I felt. Like they needed to.
So it was very hard for me to get King Arthur in to get a hit because they have to be adjacent with King Arthur.
So I just surrounded
Medusa
you.
Doesn't have to be adjacent. She can do ranged attack.
Yeah.
See,
it's pretty cool. I like it.
It's a fantastic game.
I like it.
There's a whole bunch more sets with new characters coming out, a lot of Marvel sets. There's supposed to be a T-Rex at some point.
Nice.
There's a new volume, Battle Legends, coming out that's going to have some cool characters in it too. So I'm excited about that game.
So I did a cool wife thing and I was like, you want a shelf downstairs to put this? Just go ahead.
And now they're down there. It freed up an entire shelf for me in that closet.
Nice.
So that's really nice.
That game's too pretty to hang out in a closet.
Yeah, that's another thing is I could probably condense it all into 2 boxes.
But don't.
But the art on the boxes is so cool. I don't want to do that.
Nah.
And then we played the second game. Was
Mind Management.
Oh, that's
right?
what I loved. You said Fred's asleep, and I want to play Mind Management, and for those reasons, I'm out.
Well, you're watching a lot of Shark Tank lately, or zoning out to Shark Tank, and so they always go, this and this and this. For those reasons, I'm out. And
look, I do not like the billionaires.
Nah.
I don't like them at all.
No, but I root for the entrepreneurs in a way every once in a while because
I'm torn.
Yeah.
I like seeing people get their dreams to come true. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm really disillusioned with capitalism right now.
Yeah.
And I hate all of it. But there's something about the show that's interesting to watch. I mean, there's a reason it's been on for 13 seasons or whatever, but I'm not like a Mark Cuban fanboy or, in fact, gosh, I don't really like any of the
sharks.
The sharks. I know they're not all billionaires, but they all have that same mentality. And it just feels a little icky to me.
Yeah, icky for sure.
But I will say I do like the idea of them taking some of their money that they're hoarding and using it to help somebody who doesn't have the money fulfill or realize a dream, even though it is a completely selfish reason that they're doing that. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yes.
They're not doing that because...
out of the kindness of their heart.
Right,
it's not a donation by any means.
No.
It's an investment.
Yes, but I do like seeing people who
work
would
really
normally
hard, try
not
really
have
hard.
that money get a little chunk of it.
Yeah. It's nice to see that.
But then they become millionaires at some point and there's just a big cycle. I would like to be a millionaire, but not for the reasons that most people would like to become millionaires. I would like to become a millionaire so that I could
help people.
Yes, I would do a lot of helping of people, but I would also set up a nice little compound for our family.
Compound.
And I would spend the rest of my days in overalls with paint splatter everywhere.
Stop saying the word compound then. Just stop it, okay? Please.
I'm just saying, I would like to have enough money that we could set us up so that we didn't have to participate in capitalism. The problem is that we have to participate in capitalism to get there.
We're Americans. Of course we have to participate in capitalism.
Well, everybody is participating. The whole world now.
Anyways, it was a decent weekend. Looking back, we did get lots of cool we got lots of things done and stuff.
I feel fairly satisfied with our weekend.
I wish every weekend was a little bit full like that, but I know it can't be. It's very frustrating.
That goes back and forth. I feel really good about what we accomplished, but some weekends I don't. I just want to lay around.
Yeah.
I'm exhausted from the week and I just want to like chill out. You know, I don't want to have to do errands or chores or.
Yeah, for real.
Which is, you know, that's I think one of the good things about working from home is that we can run errands and do chores during the work week, right? Because we have, you know, some leniency in my schedule there, but.
You just still would rather not.
It's just, I have executive function disorder. All right. I love you, and I would like to get into our topic.
All right, cool.
I'm just going to ask you some questions again. God damn it.
Okay.
All right. After this fake commercial break, we'll get into it. All right. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a question for you.
Okay, dokie.
What advice
Oh, boy.
would you give our daughter
Oh, goodness.
about relationships?
Oh, mama. Don't do it. No.
Oh.
Please don't.
Okay. Well, that was an easy one.
No.
I kind of feel the same way. Like I don't want to think about her being in relationships just because I know men or just people in general, because she could be, you know, she
whatever
could be gay
she wants.
too. Yeah.
It's just people.
People can be
awful.
Well, it's just so easy to break your heart, right?
Yeah.
It's so easy for someone to do that. Mm-hmm. And it's such a like I don't want to say don't, because
right,
you and I found each other and it's been great.
Yeah.
But I also had a relationship before you that was not great, and it destroyed part of me. You know?
And I've had relationships that were, you know, childish ones, but still nonetheless a supposed whatever coupling. And the older boys have had relationships, but they both got their hearts stomped on, and I have to be cool about it, but at the very same time I want to, you want to
go punch
do
people.
some throat punching.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell is going to come over me if she wants to have a relationship, and that's fine. I will always be there for her. It's not specifically, but
it's when.
Okay, but you know what I mean?
Right.
If she wants to have a relationship with someone, I will be, her backup, ride or die forever and ever and always.
Yeah.
No matter what time of the day it is. But it's going to terrify the hell out of me.
I'll tell you the kind of dad I'm not going to be. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be the shotgun dad.
Oh my God. Okay. So yeah, please. Cause
I think that's just really cringe.
That's barfy.
It's so gross. It's toxic in a way. And it's kind of like, I think it feels like the same similar energy to moms who like fight with significant others over their son's affection. It's that same kind of like weird emotional incesty energy. I don't like it.
It's possession.
Yeah.
First of all,
she doesn't belong to me.
No. She doesn't belong to anyone. And that's what I want her to grow up with, first of all.
Yeah.
So that second of all, she can have the right wherewithal to choose a healthy relationship, to be the best that she can be first. Like my duty is to her, my duty is not to anyone else.
Yeah.
If someone else wants to come into the picture and make it so that, not really prove to me, but like show all of us that they are capable of hanging, then fine. But but initially it has to be, we're trying to grow her first and make sure that she's the best.
Yeah, I don't think it's our job to prevent heartache.
A relationship is not like a completion of a person.
Yeah, I don't think it's our job though to prevent heartache.
No.
I think it's our job to just be there when that happens inevitably and we help them pick up the pieces.
We have, but it's still very difficult for me. I'm very close with all my kids, and I don't want their hearts to be broken. I made them.
Yeah.
I made their hearts. The last thing I want to do is have them hand it over to some little girl who can't handle her feelings, and then now it's broken.
Yeah.
So it's really, I will try not to be icky about it, but at the very same time, internally, I will be constantly flexed. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I'm going to worry about her all the time. I'm just not going to unless she's in actual danger or being physically harmed, I'm not going to interfere with her relationships.
Yeah.
It's not our job to do that.
Correct.
All right. What do you love or hate about the way I dress?
About the way you dress? Oh, mercy.
Trick question.
Oh, that's not nice.
Let's tell the audience how many outfits I have.
You have 3 outfits.
No, I have 3 copies of one outfit.
Okay. Okay, yes. They're all the same outfit, but they are 3 outfits. You Johnny Cash it for sure. It's black on black.
Well, I'm a designer. I don't have time to figure out colors.
You used to, like back in the day, you used to wear shorts in the middle of the winter in Arizona. But you were the yin to my yang, because I used to wear tank tops in the middle of fucking winter in Arizona. So, I mean...
Yeah, but it never really got that cold there, right?
Like not nearly as cold as the other places we've lived in.
Yeah.
Like not nearly. And so, especially when you've lived through an Arizona summer, you're ready for it to be November or December.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with how you dress. It's that when we have like a special thing, or I want to take pictures or whatever, it's like, all right, go put on your good hoodie. Put on the nice gray one. The clean one. No, the other. Yeah, that one. Yeah, let's do that one.
When I went to, so I've always been like this. I don't have a lot of patience for fashion.
Yeah. Well, neither do I.
Part of it is because I'm just large, and so I can't like buy clothes at a normal place, and so
because you'd be a 3-piece suit kind of guy.
I don't know.
You'd be Peaky Blinders 24/7.
Maybe
you would
if I could fit in a suit. Yeah, most of my choices are pocket tees in just different colors.
Yeah,
and like sweatpants, shorts, and jeans. And so I'm just like, I'll just pick something that feels comfortable to wear.
Exactly.
And I'll just get 3 copies of that, and that'll just be what I wear.
Yeah.
But when and that's fine for remote work, right? Because, it just looks like I'm wearing a black t-shirt every time I get on the phone. Who cares? And it's different black t-shirts all the time. Anyways, when I've worked in places though, I've worn different clothes. Like I had different outfits when I worked at like Paramore. Mm-hmm. But when I worked at Amazon, I wore different clothes, pants, and shirt, but I wore the same hoodie.
Yeah.
Every single day.
For 11 months.
For 11 months.
Or 7 months, whatever it was.
It was 11 months. And I wore it every single day. And then when I quit, we were all having like a goodbye lunch. And I said, we were talking about like things we're going to miss and stuff. And I was like, I'm just really surprised that nobody pointed out I've been wearing the same hoodie for 11 months. And 3 people were like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you for saying it. We didn't want to point it out because we weren't sure. And there's just something really tickled me about wearing...
giving a little bit of a twist to life.
I like making people go, huh?
Like it when people side-eye you.
What is he wearing? Is he always wearing that? Or is it different hoodies? I can't remember what was on his hoodie yesterday. And the best part is that hoodie had a logo on it. Mm-hmm. A very recognizable Notre Dame logo. It's like... Yeah. No, it's the same one, guys, every day. But the thing is I didn't wear it all day, every day, just in the office. Mm-hmm. So whenever my coworkers would see me, I'd have it on. But like going home and coming to work and at home, I wasn't wearing it.
Yep, that tracks.
But I used to do all the kinds of other weird stuff. Here's what I discovered when I worked at Amazon is I'm not built for corporate culture and structure unless it's remote. Mm-hmm. If it's in-person culture, corporate, I know I can't do it. It's so it feels so counter to my personality.
Yeah.
So I have to find things to entertain myself.
Mm-hmm.
At Amazon, all of the walls had sheet metal or glass, so you could whiteboard everywhere.
You could use dry erase markers and stuff?
Everywhere. You could, on every wall, inside the elevator, everywhere is a whiteboard.
That's weird.
Well, the culture was like, oh man, you never know when an idea's going to come. But
yeah,
what
but
I did,
you have a marker.
What I did is I just drew cartoons all over the hallways. Right? People would be walking by and I'd be like, just drawing cartoons, like a big cartoon mural all throughout the hallways. And the executive assistant for the VP on our floor would come down and she'd be like, I love your drawings. Thank you for drawing them and just keep on doing it. And I'd be like, thanks, Barbara. And then, so that was one thing I would do. I would just draw cartoons everywhere. And the best part is the people who didn't know it was me doing it, and they'd be like, where are all these cartoons coming from? And why are they only in this part of the building? These cartoons are weird. And they were weird cartoons. They were not corporate cartoons. And then another thing I would do is I would go to the bathroom, like, like people normally go to the bathroom and go pee or only pee. I don't poop at work.
Who does?
But then I'd get my hair all wet.
You know what? This is where I draw the line. How old are you for real?
I was 36 when I worked at Amazon.
God.
I'd get my hair all wet, and then I'd come out of the bathroom, and it'd still be dripping.
Ew.
I didn't have very long hair at the time, but it was long enough that it would be like kind of wet looking. And people would be like,
did you fall in?
People would look at me like, what happened? I'm pretty sure that guy went in there to dry hair. And then the last thing that I used to do at Amazon, this is all really unprofessional.
Very.
But none of it's like inappropriate.
But it's a little bit of a like messing with people.
None of it is like problematic. It's just all weird.
The side eye. It's just, side eye weird.
Like, that guy's a little weird. The other thing I would do is like if I was walking down the hallway and I saw somebody else walking down the hallway, the way that the hallways worked is that they're every like, I don't know, like 10 feet, there was an offshoot into the cubicle spaces. So the hallways were these long tunnels and then these offshoots into cubicle spaces. So I'd be walking down, and if I saw somebody coming, instead of turning into the cubicle like a normal person, I would get down there, I'd be walking straight ahead, and then I'd start waving and walking crab style sideways into the cubicle area. Oh, jeez.
Ay.
It's even weirder. It's even weirder if you saw that from behind.
Yeah, probably.
I'm not going to ask you this question because I just described it. What's the most ridiculous thing I've done?
Okay. All right.
I just described it.
No.
Working at Amazon.
I didn't see you do that. You just come home and you tell me all these weird stories about what you do. And I go, okay, well, that's great.
Somebody's got to write my legend.
Yeah. The weirdest thing you've ever done? Oh boy. I don't know. It goes back to the, you pretend to know somebody. You're like Linda from Woodshop, class of 68. And they just go with it. They give you hugs and shit. Yeah. I'm like, what's happening?
Can't do that anymore.
The weirdest thing is we weren't like a couple for very long. And so nowadays we go into a place and you just start talking to people. I just keep going because I'm like, he'll find me eventually. Yeah. It's fine. But in the early days, we went into Walmart for something. I forget what it was. Yeah. And you were really surprised because they had a belt that was...
Oh, not the belt story. This is bad.
This is
a problematic story.
But you got a belt, and then you just announced to the whole parking lot. You held up the belt, and you're like, I got a belt. I got a belt. And you were just so proud of your belt that people were just like, okay, all right, good job, huh? There was another time we were at the grocery store, same time frame.
We
were
still
a young
announcing
couple.
I got a belt. I was belting. I was bellowing.
You were screaming that you got a belt. Yeah. It was humiliating. I'm like, don't follow me to the car. Just don't do it. And we were still a pretty young couple. Yeah. And we went to the grocery store, and you know how like they have all the the trolleys or the carts stuck together kind of a thing. Well, every once in a while you get to that point where two are just too stuck together to...
Oh, yeah, they get stuck, yeah.
Well, you would emphasize that to like the 20th power, and you'd be kicking your legs and trying to mysteriously pull two carts apart from each other.
Yeah.
You're just making this big, humongous scene. And I'm like, I'm out of here. And I just kept walking because there's nothing I could have done. I was going, James, stop it. James, please stop. And people were looking and people were laughing. And I'm like, oh, I gotta go.
Well, when I was younger, I was very much in my experimental environmental prop comic phase. So I was just workshopping all of the time.
So awful.
And I was just trying to use the environment and props that I had around me.
It's so embarrassing
to see what types of reactions I would get for these things. and the old stuck together carts gag, I'd done that hundreds of times before we met.
So annoying.
I don't know if you noticed how graceful I was when I was trying to pull them apart, and I would start off like, I just can't do it. It was all in the shoulders. And then I'd start really just jerking it. And then I'd kick my legs up. And so my body would be fully in the air jerking it. Anyways.
It was very weird. It was it was very weird.
That's what you signed up for, babe. Okay. I'm a weird person.
I get it.
I'm a weird person, but I'm charming.
Yeah, like you can charm the pants off of anyone.
So
seriously.
People go, that guy's weird, but I kind of want to hang out with him, maybe.
Yeah, people love it. I don't get it. People like adore it. And I'm just like, no, I'll meet you in the cracker aisle. It's not happening for me. It's not happening.
People always laugh. Yeah.
And
then it's never feels like it's at me either. It always feels, maybe sometimes it is, but.
Or it's nervous laughter or I needed that today. And they just go with it. And I'm like, no, I'm going to go get some bread. Oh, so weird.
I think a lot of that is why I don't have, this is all prior to the pandemic because we don't go in public anymore. But I never had a problem yo-yoing in public, even just practice yo-yoing because what's that?
Yeah.
That's not even weird compared to the stuff that I used to do.
Right.
I don't know. I'm not in a prop comic mode anymore, but I still do I like seeing people smile or hearing people laugh. You know?
Yeah.
I think those are fun, but a lot of that just comes from the trauma of not wanting people to make fun of my size.
Yeah.
So if I do something that makes them laugh or catches them off guard,
or they'll think about you as the yo-yo guy at the store, not the big guy at the store.
Yeah, or the funny guy with the carts.
Yeah. There are probably at least 10 or 12 people walking around this earth now in Arizona or elsewhere going, you remember that guy who threw a crazy ass fit at the carts? Because we all feel it, right? You go and you pick a trolley and you're like, okay, and you start to pull it out and it's stuck and you're like, how long can I pull on this cart before one, it lets go, or two, I look like a fucking fool. Yeah. But no, you just went with it and took it to like I said, a 20th power.
I did get the cart off.
Because it wasn't stuck. I don't think it was ever stuck.
I do think about that a lot. So I'm the kind of person who thinks about people randomly. Mm-hmm. Something will trigger a memory for me of somebody that I haven't talked to in years or seen in longer. And I'll think about them for a little bit and be like, oh, I wonder how they're doing, you know? But then I start to spiral and go, does anybody think about me? Does anybody ever think, I wonder what James is up to? Because I do it all the time. I never reach out to those people because
then I'm sure it happens to you.
I don't want to burden them.
Yeah.
Right. If they don't remember me or they don't want to talk to me, I don't want to put that burden on them. And I also don't want to put myself out for rejection for somebody I remember fondly.
Yeah. Or get mistaken for somebody else.
Right. But no one ever reaches out to me ever.
Yeah.
So I wonder, do people think about me that I've met and I've had an impact on their lives? Mm-hmm. because I know that I've had impacts on people's lives.
In one way or another.
Right. But do they ever think about me?
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's an interesting...
I guess it's not my business to know, but that is stuff that like wanders through my mind sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The next question is, what's something that could come between us and what could we do about it? And you can't cheat and say Marisa Tomei because that's not going to happen.
Oh, Lord. Marisa Tomei. What's something that could come between us?
If Marisa Tomei came to the house and she's like, hello, I just learned about James and I would like to meet him, I'd be like, I'm James and go away. I'm happily married to the girl of my dreams, Marisa Tomei, you idiot. And then I'd slam the door.
Oh, sure. Right. Okay. What's something that could come between us? I have no idea.
It's kind of an unfair question because I don't think at this point in our relationship, I don't think there's anything. We've weathered a lot of weird stuff throughout our relationship. And I don't think that if those things failed.
I mean, you know, there's always like something that could happen, but then we would just like duke it out and be, you know, fix it and solve it and keep going. But I think
maybe infidelity.
Well, okay, yes.
Could cause.
But I also don't think that you would ever do that.
I don't think you would either, but I think that if it were to happen,
that would probably end things.
It would be a hard thing for either of us to take from the other.
Yeah, because I know how you would feel.
Yeah.
And you know how I would feel.
And I think that's why we wouldn't do it to one another.
Yeah, because we're trying to, you know, we get pissy at each other, but we always still at least have that, you know, that respect thing there. It's like, you know, I could be pissy at you, be like, I got you more pistachios. All right, thanks. Like it's still one of those things, you know, you still hold the umbrella for me sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? When I'm tying my shoe or whatever, or I'm putting my hair up. It's just those little tiny things that I know that if it was ever to be a thing, infidelity would, but then I don't see us doing that because we would know that now we just did it just to hurt each other, which I don't see us doing.
No.
So I don't think there's...
I wouldn't do it.
I hope there's nothing.
You know, part of it is like, because it's happened to me before, I'm not like, look, I'm not going to say that I've never, like in the 25 years that we've been together, never found another person attractive, right? That's
right.
But there's a difference between seeing somebody and going, oh, that person's attractive and going and doing something with that person, right?
But you also have this characteristic where you're very honest about everything.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's hurtful, but only because of my own ego.
Right.
And my own feelings and my own, like, you know, trauma and baggage and things that I have going on. But I also think it's a really good thing to have because then I know for a fact I'm not going to question. Yeah,
it gets me in trouble though.
It does.
Because I'm too honest with everybody. I'm too open with everybody.
Yeah.
And I say things that they don't want to hear or I shouldn't say.
There are things that sting, but then you go, okay, well, that's on me, not on him. He's just trying to point stuff out, or he's just trying to be honest because he's always lived in a situation prior to me that wasn't so honest and that everybody didn't speak about certain things. And I lived that too as a kid. Nobody talked about shit. Right. And so then you and we talk about almost everything to the little dumbest detail of things and go, and then you go, oh shit, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. And I go, it's all right. It just stung in the moment. Like, you know what I mean? We work through scenarios, even if they do hurt. It's so much better in the long run. Because then when you tell me something, I know I can believe it. Yeah. Or I know that, no, that didn't happen because otherwise he would have told me that. But there are some times like lately where you don't tell me some things and I go, why didn't you tell me that? You're like, oh, I spaced it. I forgot about it or I'm stressed out or whatever.
Like what?
I can't think of anything specific, but it was like, when I went to go get groceries and you went for a walk by yourself and you weren't feeling good and had like a panicky thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, well, why didn't you tell me that? Because we tell each other really ridiculous everything.
Well, that was because because you were out grocery shopping and there was nothing you could do.
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to stress you out while you were out.
Yeah.
And so I just waited till you got home to tell you about it.
I know. But I could have, sent you like 20 emojis or something.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't me keeping something from you, though. It was me just trying to prevent you from having anxiety while you were 20 miles away from the house.
Yeah. But I'm always used to you being like ridiculously honest with me. So when I can tell like you're not feeling good, you'll still tell me stuff, even though,
Yeah, but I've said stuff that's like,
yeah, it stings and hurts or whatever. I get that. And then I go, dude, that hurt or whatever.
Yeah.
I at least have enough safety now as an older lady now. I have safety in going, look, dude, what you're saying is, not very nice.
Yeah.
Maybe say it in a different way, or you can say the same thing without being completely, blunt or whatever.
Yeah.
I have a voice now, and you've helped me have that.
Yeah.
You've given me a safe space to have that. Even though sometimes I am very not honest necessarily. I can't say that I'm completely honest 1,000% of the time.
Yeah.
But I am a little blunt, and I go, look, stop it.
Yeah, you do have some bluntness. So my honesty comes from a place of wanting disclosure and transparency.
Yeah.
But as I get older, I realize that honesty sometimes comes in the form of being cruelty.
Yeah. It can.
Even inadvertently, right? Like, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. Right. I'm trying to make sure that you don't have surprises.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that, and it sometimes backfires on me anyways, because I'll have told you something 20 years ago and it'll come up now and you go, you never told me that. And I was like, no, I did. I swear to God. And you're like, no, you didn't. And then you're new mad about it. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't think there's much that could come between us at this point, though.
I don't think so either. I think we're dedicated on going down the same road. And
Cillian Murphy?
No.
Okay.
No. And it's not, okay, so even like actors and actresses, it's not really them, right? It's characters that they've played or whatever. So that's all fake. That's all not real anyways, right? Like, people have celebrity crushes, but not on the real celebrity. They don't show you that.
Yeah, I don't know.
They don't show you the real person.
I don't know who Marisa Tomei is in real life.
Right.
But there's Winona Ryder.
In My Cousin Vinny, whatever, that's the character, right?
No, that wasn't the character.
Who was it for Marisa Tomei then?
I don't know.
Was there one?
I don't think there was one. I think I just was like, oh, that's a cute lady.
Anyways, they're not showing you the real them. They're showing you characters and, pretend.
No, of course.
Stuff.
Of course. And I'm not saying I was going to risk it all for Marisa Tomei. I'm just saying, like, finding somebody attractive is different than wanting to, like, be with that person. You know
I think that's really hard for people.
You can even want to, like, you can even be sexually attracted to somebody else and still not want to do that thing with them.
Yeah. And very dedicated to your partner.
You can even say, I would, life. Oh yeah, I would definitely have sex with that person, but no, I'm not going to, because I'm married and I'm loyal and I love the life I have, right?
Yeah.
That's not what I'm talking about.
No,
but I'm just saying that you could go that far, and you're not doing anything wrong. You're just having feelings that every human being has, right? Yeah. Well, but not every human being.
We're so hung up on the idea that monogamy is the only thing you can choose, right? Yeah. First of all. Then we're so hung up on our own ego and our own hurts and our own wounds that we don't stop and go, okay, well, he said this thing. I took it as this, but what did he mean?
Yeah.
Or what did she mean by this?
Yeah.
Now, was she just trying to look out for me? Was he just trying to look out for me and, like, maybe head off a fight before it started? Or, like, what did they mean rather than how did I take it?
Yeah.
And that just takes time, and that just takes
trust
and a little bit of humility, and go, did you really mean that when you said this or that?
A lot of humility. It takes a lot.
Because
it's hard for me too, right?
Yeah. It's hard to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
It's hard to be, in a friendship. It takes time, and it takes work, and it takes effort, and And it's not all good work, and it's not all like fun and happiness and rainbows. It's, for me, it's you're worth it, right? So the good times that we are vibing and we are close and we are together outweigh any of the things you said because, something happened and it wasn't even about me.
Yeah.
That is the number one thing, is that so many times 95% of people's reactions isn't even about us. It's about them and what's going on in their life and in their head and in their bodies.
Right.
That can manifest in so many different ways that they can't help but react about something, because if they're not feeling good or they're not feeling right, they can react or have a reaction to something and take it out on someone else, and that has nothing to do with that other person.
Yep.
And that also takes history, and it takes time, and it takes realization that, whoa, okay, that hurt my feelings a lot, but I don't think that was about me, because I'm not meaning it to come across that way. Yeah. I don't even think I said it like this, whatever.
I think you can also say that about attraction, right? As it doesn't have anything to do with you, right? If I go, oh, Marisa Tomei is pretty, that doesn't mean you're not pretty. That doesn't mean I'm not attracted to you.
Right.
Right. But then ego gets in the way, and
your
you're
own
like,
brain
well,
goes,
what about Marisa Tomei? Does he like that he doesn't like about me? But that's not it. Right.
Yeah. And
I'm just using Marisa Tomei as a scapegoat here.
I get it. I get what you're saying.
I'm very sorry, Marisa.
And it's like infidelity too, when you're committed to somebody and you go outside of that,
right? And
you have relationships outside of that aren't agreed upon. That has nothing to do with their partner.
Yeah.
That has everything to do with them and what they are experiencing or not experiencing. It has nothing to do with their partner.
Nothing.
Their partner could be freaking whoever, J-Lo or Jennifer Garner or whoever, and their partner can step out on them and do something stupid and fuck it all up. Has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with that person that's cheating.
Yeah, Ben Affleck.
Or being distrustful or being an addict or being whatever.
Yeah.
That it's all in and on them, period.
I really do think that. I think that almost all like relationship problems, it's not the person, the victim's fault. It's the person perpetrating the bad behavior, and it's all on them.
Yeah.
Right. And a lot of times, in relationships, you want to blame the person, right?
Everyone but yourself.
In my previous relationship, there was a lot of infidelity.
Yeah.
And a lot of that blame was put onto me as if I wasn't providing enough
of everything.
And they felt like they had to go elsewhere.
It had nothing to do with
but
you.
But it didn't have, and it took me a lot of years to realize that it wasn't me at all.
Yeah.
Right? Like I didn't do anything wrong. I was doing all of the right things. And there's nothing I could have done differently that would have changed that outcome.
Yeah. And even as like, even if you're a teenager, you're still a kid, right? So things that happened to you or the way you reacted to certain things, you were a kid, right? Your brain wasn't done growing.
Not fully.
The people around you, should have protected you in a way, and they didn't. That's on them.
Well, some of the people knew, but not everybody knew. Yeah. And the people who knew they didn't have my best interest in mind.
Right.
And the people who didn't know, who would have said something if they had known, didn't know. So what are you going to do? You're stuck, right?
Yeah.
I actually found out from a random person at a nightclub when I had come to pick them up. And the random person ran out ahead and just started, she's in here doing all this cheating. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
No, they wouldn't do that to me. They wouldn't do that to me. Yeah. Exactly what they were doing. So I in some ways was in denial. And in other ways, I knew what was happening.
Yeah.
But I was ignoring it. Right. Anyways, that's all here or there. We've been together for 25 years.
Right.
And we've had more sunny days than we've had rainy days.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. But even during the rainy days, we still hold the umbrella for each other. I still root for you. You still root for me. We still root for each other and us as a couple.
Even when we've had hard patches in our relationship where, you know, I'm working at a business away from home and, you know, having friendships outside the household and stuff, even when we've had those rough patches, we still weathered through them and we still supported one another as best as we could in our, you know, fairly traumatic states.
With the crap that we were each going through, we still, you know, chose to hang in there.
We made it. 25 years that we made it to the point of no return.
Wrong.
You can't turn this boat around now, baby. We got to keep on going. We're in a canal now. If you try to turn around, you can block the whole canal for everybody.
I'll just do a 50-point turn.
Oh, jeez. All right. Well, I love you. Thank you for talking to me.
I love you too.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Lou and Me podcast, subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, or Spotify.
And follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Lou and Me Podcast.
Lou and Me is a Matthiasaurus production, produced and edited by Moose. The song is No Carpets by the New Forevers, hosted by Lou and me.
Thanks for listening.